we know that criminal activity is not necessarily the thread between violent situations, but what we have found is trauma is a very clear thread. So someone who has acted out or lashed out or committed an act of violence, more than likely they've been traumatized or impacted by violence or exposed to violence first. So a big thing that we all can be a part of is supporting people after an act of trauma, after they've been impacted. And it might not just be the person who's injured or suffered loss. It might be their little brother, their best friend, that person you see crying in the corner at a funeral home, the one who can't even show up, even though they were buddies for 10 years, right? We have to figure out how to invest and support victims and survivors of violence at a much greater scale to interrupt the cycle of violence. We also know that, especially with youth violence, the guns are coming from very predictable places. 76% of school shootings, the guns come from the home. 80% of youth suicide, the guns come from the home. 76% of accidental harm, the guns come from the home. So one easy thing that anyone can do is help us push the message of safe storage. And by starting with you first, are you securely storing your firearm? Is it locked? Is it separated away from your ammunition? Are your neighbors moving the same way? Are your friends moving the same way? Are your parents moving the same way? And what we found is that most Americans are not doing a good job. And that's why so many of these situations are happening. It's not always the boogeyman with a van in an alley. A lot of these firearms are coming out of nightstands and cupboards and closets and under pillows and winding up in schools and at playgrounds and at house parties. And then lastly, there are so many organizations that are working on this issue, whether they're doing violence intervention, working with at-risk youth, whether they're supporting elderly that are in crisis. And those organizations, almost all of them need more support. And so you don't have to go all the way to Washington. You can look right in New Haven or right in Detroit or right in, El Paso and find that organization and figure out how you can be a best support to them because they're desperately in need. And AmeriCorps actually supports many of these groups. There's 500 of them through AmeriCorps alone. So if you can't find it on your own, you can simply support your local AmeriCorps site, and likely you will find a group that's working on violence prevention.